But we are working on pastoral counseling, and we're gonna just continue the marriage counseling a little bit, and then move on to the divorce counseling. And this is the last class for this quarter. Well, there are general advice for relationship and marriage counseling. The first one is remember there are always two sides to a story. So, because marriage counseling, there are two people. Okay, the couple have different story on one story. Okay, so you wanna just listen to both sides before you just do something for those couple. Okay, but that doesn't mean that both sides are equally true or valid. That's right. Particularly if one party has a vested interest in portraying something in a particular way, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't seek to hear both perspectives. Don't jump to conclusions or act prematurely on the basis of hearing one side only. Yeah, it is definitely. So we all aware of that. As we all have different ideas and opinions and feelings, and we have all different ideas. So while you are providing marriage counseling, you can surprise, and then usually those couples have gonna surprise you too, because they didn't expect that the other party is thinking and feeling some different ways they have. Okay. That means they don't communicate much, and they don't communicate in a neutral zone like counseling centers. Okay. So counseling centers is kind of neutral zone. They can talk, freely as much as they, feel safe and meaningful. So, when they have, in their houses or some places, only two people, they're gonna argue only. But they're not gonna have, well, there are some cases, but in general, they don't talk and listen, carefully. But they are focusing on usually, talking to the other party, and because if you are concentrated on, speaking, you're not gonna hear anything, okay? Because you have a strong opinion on something, you're not gonna listen to others' opinions or feelings at all. That's natural. Okay? But in the neutral zone, like counseling centers, or for mature couples, or when you have a mature person in a couple, then they can have a better conversation and communications, right? So just to listen to both parties, okay? Second is meet with couples together, not separately. And encourage them to communicate with each other directly, not through you, okay? You don't want to just, he said, about you, and she said about you, this and that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. Both parties are gonna hate you, okay? Because usually people don't want to listen to what they don't feel comfortable. Okay, all people they expect counselors be on their side and not the other party's side. Right. Third, identify as best you can the key issues that needed addressing. Remember, the presenting problem is not always the real issue. Don't get sidetracked by peripheral issues. Okay. So when they just talk about one thing, you want to deal with it. Well, you can ask some questions because they don't want to, open their hearts and they don't want to talk about this and that in the back. Deep down there, so because it's kind of shame. Sometimes it's kind of uncomfortable, so they don't want to talk about it. You can ask some questions about that, but you want to focus on what they really opened. Okay, that's the thing you want to take care of. You don't want to take care of something they didn't talk. Okay. 4. Don't get drawn into playing the role of judging and having to decide who is telling the truth and who isn't. You are not the judge. You are counselors. You are not the judge at all. Okay? You are counselors. Counselors they don't judge any party or both parties. Okay, that is your, that is your fault. That is your fault. That is your fault. You don't do that. Okay, you don't just make those couples can talk, as much as they can, so they can understand each other. So you want to just, give them a chance to be reconciled, or just find, different ways they want to go. Okay. And don't get bogged down in the detail of disputes, who said what and to whom. Okay. Those details, pinpointing and figuring out and clearing those details doesn't guarantee that you're gonna have better results. Keep the focus on the heart of the conflict, the center. Okay, it's the effects. So what are gonna be happening because of those problems, and the process for dealing with it constructively. Okay, you don't want to ruin their relationships. You are helping them, and you want to just give them more chances to be recovered. They can recover their relationships back, or they can develop their relationship in some better positive ways. Okay? So do not try to ruin their relationships. No one wants to ruin their clients' relationships at all. I would. But what you are doing can make that kind of results. It's not going to be what you want to see. Okay. Number 5, encourage couples to talk about their own perceptions and feelings, and to refrain from making personal accusations against one another. Also, encourage them to speak for themselves, not for the other person. Okay. So that means this, when a party is says, I feel uncomfortable, I got mad, I got stressed because of this and that. That is okay, but if one party says, that person made me to get angry, that person did something for me so that I got stressed, those things kind of accusation, right? Well, when he did something, I got mad. Okay. It's not blaming, it's what happened. But you made me get mad or something, that is accusation. You see the difference? Okay? So when when people are, accusing each other, what are you going to do with them? You're going to just let them know what they are doing in the counseling session, and then you're going to let those people talk in a proper ways. Okay, no accusation, but just to tell what they think and feel. All right, they can tell everything they think and feel without any accusation. Okay, but other parties can see. They can be uncomfortable because the other party is talking about what happened, and all people can see. One person is talking. Thinking and feeling because of the other party, but telling what happened and thinking what they are thinking and feeling can be different with accusation still. 6. Encourage couples to identify their own solutions rather than look to you for answers. Okay. So you want to encourage those people and couples can find their own solutions. You don't want to just provide them, understand each other more. Okay? Reduce any things, any behaviors you can trigger others get mad. Just come home earlier. But you can just ask, what's going to be the solution you can reduce the conflicts with other party. Those questions can, encourage people to think what they are supposed to do. Alright? Number 7, as well as listening carefully to what is being said, observe body language and other forms of non-verbal communication. Where there is a lack of alignment between the verbal and the non-verbal, ask yourself why this is. What does it suggest to you? Be alert to hidden agendas and imbalances of power in a relationship. Okay? So, because people can, say something they don't think and they don't feel. But their body languages can tell more than their verbals. Okay? So please just think about that so they can, so they can have, better things like that. Okay? Number 8, holding to the maxim that in situations of conflict, we often need more light and less heat. Develop strategies for taking the heat out of a situation, but don't be afraid of conflict. Conflict, properly managed, can be a catalyst for growth and reconciliation. Right? Okay? All relationships can have problems. Always. Because we all are different. We cannot be the same. Okay? All same people, let's suppose when, there are 2 people, they are like a clone. Okay? But they can still have conflicts. It depends on their background or characters or genes or whatever. Right? So we have to admit that we can have any problems and conflicts between couples always. Okay? But we don't have to worry about the conflicts, because that's natural. But the problem is that how we can solve those conflicts. That's the problem. That's the point. What kind of characters they have. Some people are violent. Some people are understanding. Some people go crazy, and so on. Okay. Many things can be happened. Number 9, compare and compile some marriage and relationship resources that you have confidence in, and make these available to couples as needed. Good resources can help us see things differently, put our own problems and struggles in perspective, and put us in touch with options that we might not have come up with by ourselves. Lots of resources, actually. You can Google anytime you want. Okay. Google doesn't have any problem, but you have to carefully select the information or resources you like. And you not just test and fully understand what those programs and theories are. And then you have to be confident in those resources, or you're not going to recommend those things to any clients you have. Okay? So there is nothing wrong if you just provide any resources to your clients. Number 10, that's the last one for, we need to consider in the marriage counseling. And then we want to move on to the divorce counseling. Know the limits of your own expertise. You are not God, okay? You don't think you can solve all the problems. You can make, any or all reconciliation in conflicts for the couples, okay? You have to understand who you are. Okay? You don't blame your clients because they are listening to you. They are paying you, even though they don't pay you. They come to you for your counseling. That's it. And there is no guarantee that they're going to listen to you and follow your directions and apply the resources you give them. Okay? Because we all are free people. Okay? But you can be very important people to your clients because they are desperate. They come to you for any help, and that is good. That is good, because majority of couples, they don't come to any counselors, but they decide go away. They separate. They just make decisions, and that's it. But they are looking for any counselors like you. That is great. There are huge potentials and possibilities that can recover their relationships. Not always, though. Okay. But you know your limits, so think about that, because you cannot solve all problems. And then it might be necessary for the couple to a specialist relationship counselor. Yeah. And also be aware of your own vulnerabilities. If you got in trouble, if you are having any trouble with your partner, then you can be biased more. We all are opinionated. We can be biased, in many areas. We have to admit it, but be careful. Personal matters disclosed in the context of a counseling relationship can trigger reactions in you. including feelings of emotional and or physical attraction towards one of the parties in the marriage. Regular supervision can be a helpful way of processing these feelings. Okay? Okay, those are things we need to consider in a marriage counseling. As I told you, we want to just work on divorce counseling, because that's the ouch part, but that's getting popular. It's getting popular. People are separating, divorce. That is ouch, right? That is actually breaking the covenant, and you know what the covenant is. It's breaking their vows. Because usually people vow each other that they're gonna be loyal. They're gonna just get together, stick together until their death can separate their relationships. But divorce, unfortunately, is happening, right? In 1981, the divorce rate hit an all-time high in the United States at 53% of all marriages ending in divorce. In 1918, not 81, the divorce rate was 1%. So 100 years ago, the divorce rate was 1%, but now 53%. It is estimated that the divorce rate for 2021, last year, will be 45%. Better than 1981, but still nearly half of all marriages will be wrecked. Well, there was, more than, I think a few times, crisis in my marriage also. I was about to, divorce. Thankfully, I'm just living with my wife still. I don't know what happened in the future, but I'm still living with my wife and trying to find, better ways we can live together. Because there are only myself and my wife, and that's it. Because my two kids are in other states, or they are in the dormitory for the college, studying at the college. Okay. So it is kind of different. It can be your second honeymoon after your kids just leave your home, or it's gonna be a new version, okay? Because you didn't fight, or you couldn't fight because your kids were in your home. Okay. Nobody is watching you guys, so you can fight as much as you want, or you can develop the better way you can live together. Togetherness is great. I don't know why, but I'm getting older, so I snore. This morning, my wife complained a lot because I snored a lot. She used to be okay, but last night was kind of, I don't know, I was too tired, so I snored more, louder. So she complained that to me. Thankfully, we have another room she can, she can sleep there. But I don't know. My kids are coming, visiting me this week and next week. So I don't know what happens. So she has to, sleep with me, and then I don't know. I try not to snore, more. But I can't control that. I can't control that. I don't know what I can do, but maybe I have to, put some, patches on my nose. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm feeling sorry, but I don't hear, what I'm snoring, so I'm okay. I can sleep well, even though my body doesn't sleep well, but I don't hear anything. So I'm so sorry to my wife. Okay. Anyways, I'm not sure, but yeah, she's not gonna divorce with me because I snore. Okay, that's a good thing. I mean, I don't know if you can read them, well, but God desires that marriage be a permanent and indissoluble relationship. But we live in a fallen world. Now, don't blame this world. You are fallen. And I am fallen. We are fallen, okay? We all are fallen, even though we got saved. And then we are living in the fallen world too, but we don't blame others, okay? You only can blame yourself for the divorce, but you can blame your partner though. Anyway, we are seldom the people God has called us to be. Often our most serious failures come in the relationships that are most important to us. And no marriage is immune from this risk. Just because some married couples have managed to avoid divorce doesn't mean that their marriages are all that God intends them to be. We can probably all think of situations where the marriage is intact but is hardly life-affirming and God-honoring. Okay, so, even though you are saved, your spirit got saved, but your character, your body, okay? So you become, children of God. Congratulations, you are saved. So you can go to heaven after you die. That is good for you. That's good for you. Congratulations. But your characters are there. Okay, you have to work on your character. You have to work on your body. So you become Christians, but when you eat lots of sugars, you're gonna get diabetes or whatever. You're gonna get obesity or whatever. If you eat a lot, I'm getting late, so I'm feeling guilty. All right? No matter what, your body is not saved, so you have to take care of your body. Your character is not saved. You are not Christ. You don't have the character Christ had. Okay? So we have to work on our characters. That's what we are supposed to do. So imitating Jesus, imitating Christ is our goal. Okay? The decision to divorce is seldom made lightly. That is important. Seldom made lightly. It usually follows a long period of decline in the marriage relationship. Everett Worthington says that many marriage breakdowns pass through the following 5 stages. What are those stages? First one is watch out. Early warning signs include feeling that closeness has declined. No hugging, no touching, no kissing, no talking, either slowly or precipitously. While intimacy is declining, the couple may maintain public behavior, suggesting the marriage is fine. Yeah, they can, they can go parties together. They can kiss in front of people. They can sit close, but because people are watching them, they think that's what they have to do in front of other people. But, their relationships, the distance, the emotional distance is getting wider and further. Privately, they become increasingly disillusioned with each other. With the decline in the closeness, communication suffers. Yes, they don't talk much. And they said, we know how to end our conversations. If you don't talk much and you just answer the questions or talk shortly, as much as you want, that means you don't want to talk with your partner. And you want to end the conversation, right? Sometimes the couple may snipe at each other, initially at home, then more publicly as communication deteriorates. Okay. For example, when you can say in the morning, good morning, and they say, the other party say, good morning. That's it, right? How was your sleep? They don't ask that. Nice weather. They don't talk. Okay. Nice weather. Because it's summer. It's hot because it's summer. It's rainy. Winter. People are mean. When they want to be mean, and people can go really mean. And it's natural. That's what people do. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Oh, did I touch any? What is this? I think it's frozen. Let me try it again. It's working this way. Okay. All right, and next. Noticing more differences. Now they know they are different with their partners. Oh, that is different. That means they actually knew that there are lots of differences, but they, those didn't matter. Those haven't matter at all, cause some difficulties or uncomfortableness, not easy sometimes, but they knew it. But it's been okay until they got heated. Okay, they got heated up. As normal communication falters, differences that were previously glossed over as unimportant cry for resolution. Partners score points trying to win arguments. Conflict resolution grinds to a standstill. Okay. And whose fault is it? as marriage dies, spouses try to explain why the relationship is troubled. They blame the partner, telling their tale to family and friends. She did something, he did something, he did something. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. She did something, he did something. And friends and family can hasten divorce by polarizing spouses. Ooh, I understand that because my wife did that and I was feeling, dying or something, Commitment to wanes. Spouses consider the alternatives, so single life or remarriage. Do you think a remarriage can be peaceful, can be ideal than what you have? Well, you can just, you can just leave the conflict situations anyways, but can that be the best solutions, or I don't know. Spouses may flirt with eligible partners and try to further relationships with co-workers and friends. Sometimes one spouse may try to re-establish the relationship, even when the other spouse has completely withdrawn from it. Still, legally married but emotionally divorced, people are often uncertain about their future. Okay? And physical separation. And one of the most painful points in the divorce process, and a giant step toward it, while some couples will mend this terror, it is only possible with mutual effort and hard work. Mutual effort, no childish effort. Mutual effort, and I do something, and the other party has to do something. And hard work. It is hard work to live together. It is pretty hard work to live together, because cohabitance is, there are high percentage of cohabitants, Men and women are living together before their marriage. Do you think, well, I think, I'm not sure if they need cohabitants before they get married. I didn't. But, I think that they can do. Actually, there are lots of people are doing that. They are living together before their marriage, no matter what. And they are trying to know each other. Then they separate. Not always, but lots of people separate. Because they know each other well. So I just recommend young people to get married before they know each other well. I don't know. That's what I think. People are living together before the marriage because of the financial problems, or for the benefits of finances, and loneliness, and working together. It's good. I vacuum, you just wipe, the surfaces. Many things they can do, and they don't have to choose or call, strangers or the people they know for the dating or hanging out or something. Research indicates that even when reconciliation does occur, subsequent separation is likely. So, unfortunately, separation and then divorce rate is going high, and then rising. People are suffering from that. Well, some people can feel free Actually, they are free, you know. They don't have to listen to others, you know, or naggings or directing or something. This Borency correctly observes that most people rate divorce as extremely stressful. It is. It is. Well, stress-wise, the death of people's partner is 100%. Okay. I don't know if that is right for some people, but in general, that is 100%. What is the stress zero status? That's death. You die, you don't have no stress. Okay? Okay. In one long-term study, divorce was described as an explosion that usually sent recurring shock waves throughout the marriage and family for up to 15 years. Let me read it again, okay? In one long-term study, divorce was described as an explosion that usually sent recurring shock waves throughout the marriage and family for up to 15 years. It is a life-changing event to which some never adjust, remaining stuck for a lifetime bemoaning the loss and clinging to the past. Sequentially, the following changes are likely to be encountered. So when you divorce, when you separate, and you're gonna just see there are some challenges for separated and divorced people. Yes. The first one is what? Denial is one of our basic defenses when we feel threatened, and is understandably commonly used when people face the ending of their marriage. Coming to accept reality requires courage and faith, and acceptance of divorce is necessary before further adjustment can occur. Denial. Yeah. When we got shocked, we deny first. Because no, it doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. No. Oh my goodness, I got divorced. I lost something. That's what people usually feel and think, but it happened. Loneliness. Divorce brings self-denial and loneliness. Sure, you used to be with somebody, but you are alone right now. Okay? If you don't have a dog, you're gonna go crazy, like what John Wick did. I completely, I'm just I like Keanu Reeves a lot, Before the John Wick, I enjoyed the Keanu Reeves a little bit, but John Wick made me, like him more than ever before. So I like Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Matt Damon, Jeremy, Mary Streep, and Keanu Reeves. Robin Williams, he killed himself though. I was really sad when I heard the news, Robin Williams killed himself. Sad. Loneliness. Divorce brings home vividly the awareness of one's existence as an individual. The challenge is to learn to bear the sense of alienation and loss, while discovering a sense of comfort and peace in solitude. Though there may be an initial fight into frenzied activities and social involvements, ultimately the process called always want to face oneself. Okay? Loneliness. It's kind of hard. You don't have to worry about when you have your wife or husband, house, even though you don't like your partner, but they are there. So, but once you left or they left, and then loneliness, it's a challenge. Guilt and rejection are closely tied to acceptance and loneliness. Well, when your parents passed away, for example, you just remind the things you did good to your parents then. But more on you did something wrong to your parents. Okay, that's what people usually experience. So you don't remember the things you did good to your parents, but you did something wrong to your parents. Guilt and rejection are closely tied to acceptance and loneliness. Often the one who initiates the legal action struggles with the guilt of hurting someone she or he has cared for, or going against deeply felt values and beliefs about marriage. And the one who is left struggles with a strong sense of rejection, self-doubt, and pain. Okay. Number 4, grief. The process of mourning. The losses in a divorce is painful yet necessary. Because you did a vow and you loved the person, your partner. You love your partner, that's why you got married, You proposed. You accepted proposal, right? And you're gonna just regret many things. What happened between with your partners. That's painful. The complex and multiple losses must be faced and mourned. These losses have been identified by Stanley Hagemeyers. A. Loss of the dream. You dreamed sweet home, happy home. You dreamed that you're gonna walk and talk, walk with your partner, with your gray hair. Yeah, you dreamed to talk with your wife or husband in front of the fireplace. You dreamed that your kids or grandchildren visit you, so you together just welcomed them, but now you are alone. And they can visit your wife's house, or that your children have to choose to visit you or your wife, or both in a different situations and places. It's gonna be painful. Losses of intimacy and companionship. Okay, loss of physical accessibility, loss of parenting role. Your kids will not like you, no matter what. Because usually, fathers, when you separated, fathers, can complain on or blame wives. Wives blame husbands in front of kids. So kids know they just heard so many nasty things about their mothers and fathers, right? Loss of legal standing, loss of money and property, loss of community, loss of attachment. Each of these losses calls for encourage to grieve and move on. The losses may not all occur separately and not necessarily in the order given. Research indicates bewildering array. And number 5, self-concept and self-esteem are intricately involved in a divorce process. Because, we all want to be successful people. And we have to admit that we failed on our relationships, our marriage relationships when we divorce. That's another big failure actually. That's a big failure. Well, I want to, some people can say, yes, okay, I know that I'm gonna fail, but I will enjoy my fail. So I'm gonna separate with my wife and husband. I can understand some of that. I can understand why not. Because there are some, crazy people, and there are people who doesn't understand what the living together is. Also. Some have suggested that there is no crisis that calls for more confidence and integration of the self than divorce. At the same time, there is arguably few crises more destructive to self-concept and esteem. Then no one, in general, people don't say, yes, I divorced. I made a divorce. I was successful in divorce. Have you ever heard about those people like that? People usually say, I divorced. I separated. I left and she left. No one can say, kids, my son and daughter, look at this, we're gonna separate, we're gonna divorce. No one can say that. No one can say that. So people know that divorce is kind of a shame. It means that you are not, good enough person or mature person and something like that. So it's kind of hard. So that means your self-esteem goes down, not going up. Okay. Friendship do not avoid the impact and stress of divorce. Maintaining solid friendship and a support network is critical for making it through the process. However, many old friendships get lost. Yeah, because you lose the friendship. Your friends will not lose the friendship with you, but you're gonna lose your friendship because you used to meet your close friends with your wife. Okay? Or you used to, go camping and spend the holidays with your wife and you don't do it anymore. I don't think that is quite right. Most persons going through the process are challenged to build a new friendship network. 7. Disentanglement from a former love relationship is a complex task. The often subtle and intricate ways couples intertwine their lives makes letting go difficult, particularly for parents. The challenge is to separate out the marital and parental relationships and to work together in the best interest of the children. So this entanglement from a former love relationship is a complex task. It is complex. Okay? All can be complicated when you divorce. Okay? Because you and your wife formed a family, a home. And you have relationships automatically with your father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, laws, okay? Lots of people are there behind your wife. Same behind your husband. Okay. Your neighbors, communities, churches. So usually people live their, towns. But they have to get started their lives from the bottom, from nothing. No relationships in new towns. It's gonna be ouch. But people choose that because it is way better for them. That's what they think. Anger is one of the strongest feelings a divorcing persons experience, rooted in feelings of hurt, abandonment, and helplessness. The rage some experience is frightening and unlike any anger they have felt before, because it's been many years. People divorce. 1 month later, or 1 year later, 2 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later. I'm gonna just celebrate my wedding ceremony, 30 years next year. But see, 30 years. I've been dating. I did a date with my wife like 13 years before we got married. So it's been, I think, what is that? 42 years. It's been 42 years. I've known my wife, and I, build relationships for 42 years. For last 42 years, it's kind of a long time, right? I don't know how long I can live more, but I just, have built a relationship. I have built the relationship for 42 years. Oh my goodness, 42 years, that's a lot, right? So, after that, you can get anger, because of yourself, because your partner, because of your children and in-laws, right? Sexual identity and relating sexually as a single person are issues raised by the divorce process. Okay. People have, there are lots of sexless couples, but, they don't have sex because of many reasons. But anyways, if you still want to have sex, where are you going to have sex partners from? It's not easy, because your wife and your husband is always there, but you have to look for the sexual partners in somewhere else if you want to have sex. Sometimes hypersexual activity occurs as a way or re-establishing a sense of worth as a man or woman, or a way of coping with loneliness or seeking revenge. The challenge is to reconcile one's belief and values with a single lifestyle. And this is the last. Trust and intimacy in social relationships usually come late in the process. Trust and intimacy. Persons going through the process are generally cautious and tentative, avoiding new wounds. Significantly though, many divorced persons remarry within the first year. Not surprisingly, second marriages have a higher causality rate than first ones. Without allowing time to heal deal and learn from the ending of a love relationship. The possibility of repeating the earlier unsuccessful pattern is high. So there's more, higher rate of divorce, separation when you got remarried. It's kind of ouch too. So, well, I got married, and I divorced, so I know, excuse me. So people can think, oh, I have experience, so it's gonna be better for me. I can do better, but there are more divorce rate after that. So that's the problem for me. That's not what we expected and think. Okay. Alright, that's all. I think that's all for pastoral theology and pastoral counseling and theology. And this is it. I wish you had some, benefits from this class, and I enjoyed this class. Well, I hope that we can just, have in-class sessions later on after this pandemic, something, okay? So please take care of yourself, and hope I can see you next time.